Hello everybody. I'm finally back here making something new. Hello. And this year, we're pretty much celebrating the 40th anniversary of the movie Fantasy.
Fantasy movie.
But the fantasy movie Labyrinth, in case you didn't know, it's the 40th anniversary. Yeah, this year, 40 years since they made a movie. That's amazing. So my whole team on the following fan art creation is going to be all related to the movie. We are even trying to have a challenge with my friends, so they can also join. I think that will be, we said that will be August, no?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get the ladies from the Polymer Clay Art Guild together to do that challenge, just to making characters from the movie. So as soon as we have that set up, we should let you know. But in my case, I am full force on it, okay? I already made a little baby Ludo, and he was actually a very successful character to make. Okay, the prototype got sold out. We are now taking custom orders for the little doll. It's on our website. But I wanted also to make a bigger size, more realistic and more, I would say, more textured, because he has such much texture on the skin and all wrinkles and all of that. It's fun things to make, you know. So I am going to do the good old wet clay, which, as many of you might know, is a water-based clay, pretty much. A lot similar to pottery clay, but not quite. It's not quite pottery clay. It has a little bit more components. It has a certain way to work. It's not like it's not quite like a monster clay. Not even a polymer clay, not at all. It doesn't really have the texture at all. Probably monster clay and polymer clay are a little bit more kind of like same feeling on texture, but wet clay is a way different. Yeah, it's a way different experience. And I did watch a couple of classes of how to work on wet clay in the Stan Winston School. I had to, because unless you don't know how to work with a new clay, it could take you a little bit to learn how to, and I don't really have that much of patience. I always say that if you have the chance to study, to take classes, I will encourage you to 100%. No matter what you're trying to learn, something new, self-taught is always going to be praised, you know. But if you have the chance and the possibility to take classes for anything, go ahead and do it. It's always good to keep learning new things in life. Also, this wet clay is good for the ones that, we struggle a lot working with polymer clay. Some people are even allergic. They can't even touch it. I have a couple of friends like that. It's hard to knead. It's kind of hard to knead. The material is a little bit harder. Even worse when it comes to monster clay, it's so hard you need to melt the clay, literally, and keep it warming up. And many times, especially when you reach a certain age, your hands get sore, and you can't really be doing much about kneading. So earth clays, like pottery clays, no wonder why you see that even in sculpting therapy sessions. People doing therapy, and you see elderly doing therapy sculpting with the pottery clay and the wheel and all of that. That's very fun. Probably when I'm old, I will end up doing that. Pottery clay is extremely relaxing. Good Lord, just right now my allergies have to kick in. But anyway, if you are that one that also making bigger sculptures, wet clay is certainly cheaper than polymer and monster clay, pretty much. And you can get it in a big, a huge amount. So it's cheaper. I am going to need a Flip is not around here. Baby, I need a tissue. He might be on the bathroom like always. Always when I need him more, he's on the. That's a classic. I have worked with this before. So when you work in bigger pieces, it helps you. That's why in the movie industry, they work a lot with wet clay because they had to make life-size props and like gigantic, humongous monsters and creatures and special effects. So can you imagine how much it will cost to make a dinosaur out of polymer clay, a life size? That will be pretty much impossible. I knew it. He's even grabbing his pants. Oh, luckily, you guys didn't get to see that. But anyway, what is the clay that you use for huge sculptures? Okay, it's an earth clay with some kind of silica and other components on there. For which one I always heard that it's not good when to let the clay dry because it kind of releases the little powders or something like that. Although there's a 50-50, I heard many versions of that. In my case, I have not kept sculptures with wet. I let them harden off and then I just trash them. I haven't kept them really. Maybe we should start keeping this sculptures in wet. Also, the sculpture in wet clay, you work it and mold it. You mold it. You make the molds out of that when the clay is fresh. You don't wait for the clay to solidify, in case you didn't know. Okay, so I said I'm going to make another Luto, but it's going to be bigger. And he tends to have the part of the jaw bigger, the eyes close in, and a little bit mass, a lot of mass on the head too, because he has like a big, thick horns on there. The ears are very cute. It looks like bunny ears that just fell down. I believe these are my 22 millimeter. I don't have my thing right now, but this is the course that I made in polymer, and then I cast it in resin. I'm trying to fit him on here, even though, yeah, because the other one has the 18 millimeters. So I think to making a bigger version of him, this will be more accurate. So I'm gonna try to go and set the eyes there. I need to set the eyes with a little bit of clay too. We're going to try to get you a better angle from this sculpture because I'm gonna go right now, actually in a little bit, and we're gonna have a live presentation in a local shop here in our little town. So from there, we're planning and recording it. So this is pretty much an intro. When you're working with wet clay, you don't need aluminum foil. You could use aluminum foil for the core, but in this case, you can just use newspapers and paper tape to seal and shape everything in place. Do you want to make a leg? Do you want to make a full body? Which I have done that in wet clay too for a big doll. It was a custom order. Like I said, it saves you a lot of money there. The price of the difference on the clays is pretty much big. So there it is. You just need paper, newspaper, or any kind of brown paper, any kind of a recycling thingy. And then you kind of shape it out to the creature or a human. You could do, of course, the shape of a human skull, if that is the case requires. If you're going to make a people portrait of somebody, that's how you're going to. That's pretty much how you're going to start here. I think we are. Whoa, my phone is dead. Yeah. All right, baby. Guys, that was a good intro. We'll catch up with you. We're going to try to record the process of creation of this guy in wet clay. Okay, if you want to see it, just follow us.